I'm Matt Towery for the Internet News Agency Insider Advantage and Southern Political Report. I'm actually on the road. Let's hear what I have to say about today's news.
I'm Matt Towery for the Internet News Agency Insider Advantage. I thought we would be covering several things in the Caribbean Basin. Cuba, the change in leadership in Cuba has been of great interest, and we were even told by the Clinton organization they thought that they would seal the deal for the presidential race in Puerto Rico. Well, guess what? That's not what anyone's talking about in the Caribbean Basin, Puerto Rico, or anywhere else as I'm on the road. It is all about John McCain this morning in the New York Times story that sort of alleges that McCain had some sort of romantic relationship with a lobbyist, a female lobbyist in the 2000 election. Now, obviously, no one knows the details of this one way or another. McCain came out and said it's completely untrue. He's certainly putting everything on the table. I do know a little bit about John Weaver, which all the networks seem to be scurrying about to figure out who John Weaver is. I don't know all that could be told about John Weaver, but I can tell you that I've dealt with John Weaver before, know him. Not to say that we're friends, but certainly have talked to him before. And let me tell you the connection that John Weaver has that probably will come to light later today. The trial bar in America, which is known to support primarily Democratic candidates and will probably be very active in supporting whichever Democratic candidate is a nominee this time, John Weaver has an extraordinarily close relationship with the Trial Lawyers Association out of Washington, D.C. He has always been sort of the contact person for them on Republican issues, and certainly was a bridge between the trial lawyers and John McCain on certain issues where McCain would take an opposite position of the Republican Party. He is thought by, and this is just from what I have gathered from colleagues and other people, he is a bit of a strange character. He sort of, as one friend of mine put it, operates in the dark of night. He was considered to be very loyal, very close to McCain, but they had quite the rift when Weaver was sort of tossed aside when the campaign was not doing well. And most people that I've talked to, been able to get on the phone this morning, basically say that this is Weaver's revenge. Now, I can also say that as much as McCain denies every aspect of this, there seems to be, based on what I've been able to figure out here, there seems to be some truth to at least the friendship that exists between McCain and this particular lobbyist. Now, that's not to say that they were having an affair or anything else, and there's really no proof of that, but I do think that there are two things that we can take from this and be sure of. One, a lot of people are going to be looking into who is John Weaver. And I think as they look into it, they're going to find that this is a person who has probably as many ties to the Democratic Party and to interest involved in the Democratic Party as he does on the Republican side. And secondly, they're probably going to keep looking into John McCain and seeing if this was a closer relationship than McCain is allowing. Interesting thing from the McCain press conference today is that he certainly denied every aspect of the story, but what he did not do is show any degree of passion whatsoever, and whether that was trying to control his temper or not, we don't know. But at this point, it's John McCain versus the New York Times. He has made it very clear none of it is true. The Times now has to come back or hope that someone else comes back with a story that can corroborate what's been asserted. My guess is, in terms of political take, this may be the best news for John McCain in a long time. The New York Times are despised by the conservatives who have not embraced McCain so far. Placing this on the front page as a so-called feature, no, this was no feature. This was a knee job. This was a cut your throat article, and it was placed on the front page of the Times very clearly, trying to look as if it's an inside-the-box feature, but really just nothing but a bombshell in a presidential campaign. And this may bring some of the Republican conservatives around. They'll certainly be more more than happy to attack the New York Times. They've always been happy to do that. The question is, will there be other shoes to drop? And we just don't know the answer to that right now. We do know that it probably has, ironically, a little bit of a negative effect on, of all people, Barack Obama, because Obama was dominating the news cycle with all of his victories, and now he and Hillary Clinton are sort of sliding off to the side as everyone looks at John McCain. So anyway, who is John Weaver? Well, John Weaver's a lot of different things in Washington, D.C. The one thing that I know he is he has been very closely aligned and has worked with the trial bar. That's not anything bad. I did work with the trial bar as well as a pollster, and certainly don't apologize for it. Do not do any work for them now. But I do know that John Weaver is a person who has a close relationship with that very powerful association, and that's an association and its members who are overwhelmingly Democrat and will be very active in this upcoming campaign. So don't be surprised if you don't see Republicans, as they hear this information and they figure out who John Weaver is, start to latch on to that sort of element and wonder whether this is politically motivated for the general election, since it did not come out during the primary season. As to the other news of the day, well, of course, we've been talking to people here in Puerto Rico about Castro and the fact that Castro, of course, there is a Castro in place, but it is not Fidel now, it's Raul. One interesting side note, it seems like I have some bump with everybody in the world. My great-uncle was a world-class fisherman, and of all things, before Cuba became communist, but Raul and Fidel had taken control, used to fish with the Castros, the two brothers. And he said to the family many times that of the two, Raul was the far more friendly of the two, if such could be the case. Well, obviously, he's been deceased many, many decades, and he did not return, obviously, after Castro and his brother declared themselves to be communist. But if there's any little light of hope, my great-uncle told me that Raul was the nicer of the two. It doesn't seem to be helping very much with U.S. relations, and people down here don't seem to have a lot of hope that Cuba will change significantly anytime soon. So anyway, that's the report we have today. We'll certainly be following this John McCain story and have more to say as events unfold. But for right now, on the road, I'm Matt Towery for the Internet News Agency Insider Advantage and the Southern Political Report. Have a great day.